In 2003, something amazing happened that would completely change how I thought about life and existence. All of it started when he decided to try a new supplement for growing muscle. But this choice caused a chain of unexpected events that changed my life. Even though my friend and I both took the vitamin, our bodies didn't like it. We went to a nearby restaurant to relax. But things went from bad to worse quickly when my friend passed out. When the ambulance came, they took him to the hospital, but they left me alone. I also passed out and died in the bathroom from the effects of the supplement. I choked on my own vomit in the end. When the paramedics found me, I had been officially dead for 47 minutes, but I think I had been dead for more than an hour before that. During this time, my mind kept going back to the place where I had died. During the whole process of getting my body ready for transport, I saw a doctor who felt a strong, almost instinctual need to revive me. He started resuscitation by giving me electric shocks, which worked to bring my body back to life, but my brain didn't work for 3 days. During these 3 days, I went on a trip to a place that is very different from this world. It was a man dressed in brilliant white who was the first being I met. He was filled with love and light. At first, I thought he might be a god, but he made it clear that he wasn't God or Jesus. He told me his name was Drake, and that he was here to help me get where I wanted to go. That deep love made me want to go to the source of it so badly that I asked Drake to take me there. He agreed, and he led me through a land that looked a lot like Earth but was much more beautiful. The beauty of this spot was unlike anything else on Earth. As we got closer, I could see tall mountains, green trees, a calm lake surrounded by cherry blossoms, and a huge building off in the distance. When I got there, I was surprised to feel something: the grass under my feet. In this world, our energetic bodies are different from our physical bodies. The grass, on the other hand, seemed to send out a strong energy, with each blade carrying its own awareness and a huge amount of love. Drake pushed me to explore more and showed me the plants and water in this heavenly world. As I got closer to the water, it wrapped its warm arms around me, giving me a deep, healing feeling. This experience was especially moving because it healed the wounds in my soul that had been through a lot of pain and suffering in this life. After the water went away, I was dry but had changed a lot. This place's beauty and love amazed me and changed the way I think about life and the future forever. As I looked again at the grand building, I saw that people were constantly coming and going from different places. It became clear that this building was meant to be a place to learn, a place where people could find deep, eternal truths instead of the limited and often biased views that can be found in earthly schools. This realization really hit me hard, showing how different our human education methods are from the vast knowledge available here. I could feel how excited I was about what could happen, but Drake, my guide, came up to me with a sad tone. He stated, "Vinny, this journey will be challenging, but it will be worth it." A bright pulse of light wrapped around us as he hugged me, and I felt filled with an overwhelming sense of pure, peaceful love. As I was being surrounded by God, I heard my brother's voice from the hospital. He was praying very hard and calling my soul back to my body. What I felt was like I was being pulled back down to earth from the spiritual world. My body was found on January 18 and put in a body bag. It stayed there for 47 minutes before attempts to revive it were successful. Even though I was asleep for 3 days, I got better surprisingly quickly. Aside from some problems with my teeth caused by the seizures, I came out of it physically undamaged. As soon as I woke up, I had to go back home right away. I was confused and overwhelmed as I worked with doctors for hours and went through many tests until they said I was ready to leave. When my dad picked me up, it was the start of a new part of my life. A few months later, I went to a historical lecture in a small town in Wyoming. To my surprise, a picture of a guy named Charles showed up on the screen. I recognized him right away. Seeing the name Charles made sense. It was the same guy I knew as Drake. Charles, who family and friends called Drake, was my great-great-great-grandfather. My grandmother told me. It was a profound finding that linked me to a guide who had always been a part of my family tree. Since then, Drake and I have kept in touch spiritually. Some people might think this is strange, but it's become an important part of my life. I now help people, no matter what religion they are, strengthen their spiritual ties. I help them get in touch with the universe, source, or any other greater power they believe in. My life has taught me that our time on Earth should be seen more like a school than a courtroom. Our main goal is to learn how to care for, support, and love each other while also making the world a better place. One of the most important things Drake taught me is how important it is to be real. Being honest with ourselves is the only way to really grow and understand ourselves. Another important lesson is to know why we are here. Simply put, we're here to learn. Lastly, Drake taught me how important it is to appreciate everyone. We should love everyone, no matter their background, faith, or way of life. There is a piece of God in every person, so when we love others, we are really loving the Creator. One of the most important things I learned is that we all have a small voice inside us that links us to the Source or the Creator. This voice inside us can lead us to the truth and help us understand things better. We need to pay attention to and care for this voice because it will help us become wiser and improve our connection with God. Drake also pointed out a problem that could happen in today's world. The growth of technology could make spiritual advice less important. As technology gets better, some people might start to worship it in a way that is similar to how people used to worship gods. It is very important to stay alert and not let technology take the place of spiritual practices like prayer and meditation, which people have used for a long time to find solutions and connect with God. It is important to let go of all kinds of bias as we deal with technology. It's important to try to love everyone, even those who might have their own views. True love and respect are for everyone, no matter what they do or how they act. Drake also taught us that our thoughts have the power to change our world. Thoughts are the building blocks of everything, and we can change our lives and the world around us by directing our thoughts. It is very important to stay away from negative effects. Too much negative exposure, like from harmful media, can make things worse in real life. To live a happy life, we should try to avoid and limit things that make us unhappy. Drake also taught me that there is a reason for everything, even bad things. Even though evil exists, it gives us decisions and chances to grow. It gives us the chance to do the right thing and make a good difference instead of adding to the problem. Drake taught us a deep lesson. Everything is tied to everything else. No matter what religion you follow, all living things, including plants and animals, are linked and part of God's plan. When we hurt other people, we hurt ourselves in the end. Animals, people, and the world are all things that need to be loved and respected. As I thought about these ideas, I started to see hints of the future. The towns and landscapes have changed a lot in this world of the future. An awful lot of big cities have either vanished or been buried by thick jungles. People no longer use cash or cell phones because they live in small, friendly towns. Extrasensory perception, ESP, is used for conversation instead, which lets people talk to each other without speaking. In the future, this life might be like a 5D world where people have learned to talk to each other without words. Also, eating every day will become rare. People will get their food from the sun, the air, and direct touch with the earth. It is thought that animals will stop being predators in this world. Even though this idea may seem impossible, ancient writings have long predicted a time when animals will live together peacefully and not fight like they do now. This peaceful relationship is part of a bigger plan for the future of our species. The world's population is expected to drop sharply from more than 8 billion people now to only 1 or 2 billion in the future. Even with this big cutback, the change will be incredibly beautiful. In this future, we will be able to see and talk to our spirit relatives. We'll be able to talk to them like telepathy, which will make the smaller population seem less important. In the years to come, big changes are likely to begin in 2025. Most likely, there will be a world health crisis like COVID-19, but with some differences. After this first task, there will be another health-related event in 2028. By 2029, there will be a change. Countries will start working together more instead of against each other. This time will be the start of big changes and cooperation around the world. A natural tragedy could happen around 2033 or even earlier. Getting ready for these kinds of events is very important because they are part of the bigger changes that people are facing. People see these problems as chances to grow and change, even though they are problems. Instead of being alone and fighting all the time now, the future will bring a better sense of community and working together. As we deal with these changes, it's important to see them as opportunities for growth rather than as only bad things that are happening. There may be problems with healthcare and damage to the environment, but these are not caused by God's anger. They are part of a necessary process of cleaning up. Through our food, water, and air, the way we live now is poisoning the world and ourselves without meaning to. We need to solve these problems if we want to stay alive and be healthy in the long run. Some people might not make it through this cleaning, but those who do will find a world that is much better than it was before. The final goal is a beautiful heavenly place that I can't wait to visit again. Even though it's scary, the process of cleaning up Earth is a step toward a better future. During these tough times, it's important to have courage and a clean heart, knowing that whatever happens, it will lead to good things. Basically, we can either change, fix, and improve our lives, or we can move on to a more wonderful place. The result is good either way. This process isn't a punishment from God. It's more like cleaning up a kitchen. It has to be done to get things back in order.